Pretty heavy security around the Capitol building today as the House debated and voted on the second impeachment of President Trump. Washington on high alert after last week's deadly riot. Hundreds of armed National Guard troops slept on the floors of the Capitol overnight. Lawmakers walking around them to get to the House floor today. It is extremely rare to see troops setting up camp at the U.S. Capitol like this. It has happened just twice since the Civil War. NBC News political reporter Vaughn Hilliard is outside the Capitol this evening. Vaughn, the pictures of the security at the Capitol today are really something else. Would you show us around a little bit more? Show us what it's like outside, if you will.
Allison, it speaks to the number of law enforcement, of National Guardsmen that are actually here on the scene in Washington, D.C. I was talking to a Department of Defense official earlier today who said there are more than 6,600 National Guardsmen now on scene here in Washington, D.C. You saw the images in the video inside of the Capitol on shift, essentially shift rotations, finding some sleep there, literally in the halls of Congress. And this is what you're looking at right now as night falls here. Impeachment proceedings underway in the Capitol. Outside of it, you have shut down Capitol grounds. You also are looking right now at two National Guardsmen that are, we should note, armed. This is big because this was the decision that was signed off on by the Secretary of the Army last night to arm the National Guard. I'm also told that we should expect the number of National Guardsmen to ramp up to about 15,000 by Wednesday. You know, just 1 week ago, when this insurrection was taking place, National Guard was not on scene until after night fell, until hours after individuals had already broken in and made their way into the Capitol grounds. It's a starkly different sight than it is now, and I just want to give you a little bit of an idea of the scene that we're looking at. Right across the street, this is the U.S. Supreme Court, Allison. And not only is there this 9-foot barricade here, but the same can be said about 1 block down the road from here. Essentially 500 yards separate now where the general public are able to roam right now and where the U.S. Capitol steps start here. This is quiet around here. 1 week ago, Allison, you couldn't see any law enforcement. We were out on the west front of the Capitol, and there was no law enforcement, no National Guard to be seen. Now, frankly, Allison, that's all you can see here on the Capitol grounds tonight.
Vaughn, we know Joe Biden's inauguration is now just 1 week away. How will security there be ramping up even more this week? And specifically, what do we know about the plans for Inauguration Day?
Inauguration Day will take place on that west platform. This is the east side of the Capitol. The west side is the one that faces towards the National Mall and the Washington Monument. The inaugural team announcing yesterday that it will, in fact, despite those threats that have continued here over the course of the last days, that inauguration will still take place. Again, 6,600 National Guardsmen here today. That number is expected to jump by 15,000. And that is coming in as a supplemental role to support Capitol Police, to support the Metropolitan Police Department of D.C., to support the National Park Service. There are several federal and local law enforcement agencies on the ground here. The National Guard is not only coming in a law enforcement capacity, but also to help support in logistical and traffic, but also on the medical front here. This is a Washington, D.C. that is all but shut down in the blocks between here in the White House right now. And that is why here, 1 week ahead of Inauguration Day, and as these impeachment proceedings are underway right now, after what happened a week ago, you have a very much of a lockdown, a ghost town outside of that National Guard and that law enforcement presence, Allison.
Yeah, it is incredible to see how D.C. has locked down. Vaughn, thank you so much for showing us what's going on today and what we should expect in the days ahead. Appreciate it, my friend.
Thanks, my friend.